नमस्कार। अध्ययन आईएएस के डिजिटल लर्निंग वर्ल्ड में आपका स्वागत है। देश और दुनिया की नवीनतम घटनाओं से अपडेटेड रहने के लिए हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। Interim Budget 2024. Namaskar viewers. In this video, we have got for you the very bits of the Interim Budget 2024. So if you are wondering, is this the main budget for the fiscal year? If not, then how is this interim budget different from the regular budget? Or are we actually going to have the main budget? What happened in financial year 24 and what is gonna happen in the upcoming? For all questions like that, we have got you covered. Stay with us in this video till the end to get the very details of the interim budget. But firstly, we are going to brush up the basics about the Union Budget of India. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced the interim budget for the new fiscal year on February 1, 2024. What is an interim budget? Few days back in the news, it said that the economic survey will not be presented in the Lok Sabha this year. Every year, on January 31, a day before the budget presentation, a document prepared by Chief Economic Advisor is presented by the Finance Minister in the Lok Sabha. In place of Economic Survey, a report titled Indian Economy, a Review was presented by the Center on the Economic Journey of India in the last 10 years. The report was prepared by the office of CEA V. Anant Nageswar. The Economic Survey is presented before the full budget. This is the reason behind absence of Economic Survey this year, because this is not a full budget, but an interim budget being presented by the government. 2024 is an election year and the regular budget process may be interrupted if the government changes. The regular union budget for the new fiscal year will be introduced in July after a new government is formed following the upcoming general elections in the first half of 2024, and the economic survey as well be presented before the full budget after the general election. The term interim budget refers to a budget of a government that is going through a transition period. That is, when the government does not have the time to present a full budget or if there are general elections happening shortly. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman referred the February 1 budget to be primarily serving as a vote on account. What is vote on account? As defined by Article 116 of the Indian Constitution, a vote on account is an advance grant to the government from the Consolidated Fund of India to cover short-term expenditure requirements until the new financial year begins. So this interim budget that the government has brought will just be a budget to meet the expenditure of the government till a new government comes into play. The Union Budget of India. Article 112 of the Constitution of India refers to Union Budget as the annual financial statement, which is the annual budget of the Republic of India set by Ministry of Finance for the following fiscal year. In this, the revenues are gathered by the Department of Revenue to identify planned government spending and expected government revenue, and the expenditures are gathered by the Department of Expenditure of the public sector to forecast economic conditions in compliance with government policy. The nodal body responsible for producing the budget division of the Department of Economic Affairs in the Finance Ministry. Generally, the government presents it on the first day of February every year by the Finance Minister in Parliament. Until 2016, it was presented on the last working day of February. It is presented by means of the Finance Bill, and the Appropriation Bill has to be passed by Lok Sabha before it can come into effect on 1 April, the start of India's financial year. The process of preparing a union budget starts in August to September, about 6 months before its presentation date. It needs to be passed by both houses of parliament before the beginning of the financial year, which is April 1. The railway budget was merged with the Union budget in 2017. The railway budget was presented separately from the Union budget until 2016, when the Modi government approved to merge it. The first combined budget was presented by then Finance Minister Arun Jaitley for the 2017 to 18 financial year. Difference between a union budget and interim budget. An interim budget is for a short period of time. A union budget covers the entire fiscal year. An interim budget is a temporary measure to ensure the government's smooth functioning until a new government is formed. A union budget is a comprehensive financial plan that covers all aspects of government spending, revenue generation, and policy reforms. An interim budget includes a summary of the previous year's income and expenses, as well as the expenses for a few months until the next government takes charge. A union budget, however, includes two main sections, one of which covers the finances of the previous year. An interim budget is presented before the general elections that will usher in a new government. A union budget is presented by the current government, which has formed after winning the majority in the general elections. Interim Budget 2024. Major focus: India's macroeconomic growth and fiscal consolidation, sustainable growth, financial sector, infrastructure and investment, youth power, and inclusive development. Until now, in financial year 2023 to 2024, inflation has moderated and is within the target band 2% to 6%. Government pulled 25 crore people out of poverty in 10 years. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman noted that government provided free food for 80 crore people through various schemes. Direct benefit transfers of rupees 34 lakh crores through PM Jan Dhan Yojana accounts has led to savings of rupees 2.7 lakh crores. Credit assistance to 78 lakh street vendors under the PM Swanidhi scheme, 30 crores Mudra Yojana loans dispersed to women entrepreneurs. Over 1.4 crore youth trained under the Skill India mission, 43 crore loans sanctioned under the PM Mudra Yojana. Rupees 44 lakh crore is the revised estimate for total expenditure for 2023 to 2024, slightly lower than the budgeted rupees 45 trillion. Projections. Nominal GDP growth for financial year 25 is projected at 10.5%. Fiscal deficit for financial year 25 projected at 5.1%, lower than the revised estimate 5.8% in financial year 24, with a goal to reduce it below 4.5% by 2025 to 26. In the interim budget speech, Finance Minister pointed the capital expenditure capex outlay increased to rupees 11.11 trillion for the fiscal year starting 1 April 2024, 11.1% up from 2023 to 24 allocation. The government borrowings on a gross and net basis for 2024-25 at rupees 14.13 lakh crore and rupees 11.75 lakh crore respectively, lower than 2023 to 24. Targets. Gross tax revenue target for financial year 25 hiked 11.46% to rupees 38.31 lakh crore from rupees 34.37 lakh crore in financial year 24. Direct tax collection target set at rupees 21.99 lakh crore, while that of indirect tax is at rupees 16.22 lakh crores. The centre aims for rupees 14 lakh crore of gross market borrowings through dated securities aimed for 2024 to 25. Tax changes and benefits. There are no changes in direct and indirect taxes. Tax benefits to startups and investments made by sovereign wealth or pension funds extended by 1 year till March 31, 2025. 10 million taxpayers likely to benefit from the withdrawal of historical tax demands until 2014 to 15. Upcoming reforms. more attention to developing the East to fuel India's growth. The government will also expand the Lakhpati Didi scheme to empower rural women and boost the rural economy. The government will release a white paper on mismanagement of economy prior to 2014. The next generation reforms to be unveiled in consultation with the states and stakeholders. Government to form high-powered panel to address population growth challenges and demographic changes. A scheme to help middle class living in rented houses to buy or build their own houses will be launched. 300 units free electricity to be provided per month to 10 million households through rooftop solarization. Extension of Ayushman Bharat healthcare coverage to all Asha and Anganwadi workers and helpers. The center will encourage cervical cancer vaccination and combine maternal and child health care schemes into one comprehensive program. Government to encourage nano DAP for various crops and to expand its use for all agro-climatic zones. Policies to support dairy farmers and defeat the foot and mouth disease. The government will formulate a strategy to achieve Atmanirbharta for oil seeds. This will cover research for high-yielding varieties, procurement, value addition, and crop insurance. A new department, Matsya Sampada, to be set up to address the needs of fishermen. 40,000 normal rail bogies to be converted to Vande Bharat standards. Schemes to turn net zero by 2070. This includes providing funding to harness offshore wind energy generation and expanding the e-vehicle sector by encouraging more manufacturing and charging. That is all for the interim budget 2024. If you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and tell us how you feel about our video in the comment section. For more updates of India and the world, stay connected with Adhyayan IAS.